Wandavision theory, the Luke level cameo in this series. Now let's break those words down. If this cameo is supposed to be a Luke level cameo, well, we need to consider the aspects of that scene in The Mandalorian. Not only was seeing Luke nostalgic, the scene itself was incredibly heroic, and you just feel that sense of heroism and hope when you see Luke and see him fight. Though people expected maybe Pietro, I can't imagine how bigger his role would be outside of a callback, or even scarier, we could see a zombie Pietro like we did Vision for a second. My guess? Doctor Strange, and here's why. Wanda's clearly mentally unstable right now, and if she gets progressively worse, it could just be like, as Elizabeth Olsen explains, Wanda has a full mental breakdown. And who stops her before it gets out of control? Doctor Strange. I mean, seriously, I'm waiting for a sling ring portal to open up in the series.
Sorry, my heater's on, you can probably hear it. I would love this, but I have a theory about what's gonna happen. And it involves Evan Peters, who will be in WandaVision at some point. You can check that on IMDb. He's slated to be in the show, but there is nobody listed as the character he's playing. My theory, this is a spoiler. My theory is that Evan Peters will play Speed, who is Tommy Shepard, who is the son that Wanda just gave birth to, kind of. Tommy and Billy's souls in the comics go into two actual children in the real world who grow up not knowing that Wanda is their mom, and then are also mutants. And Tommy has powers just like Pietro's. So, we'll see. By the way, if you follow me at youtube.com/nerdnewswithdestiny, I have more on this kind of stuff.
I spotted a WandaVision Easter egg that's kinda scary. You might have already noticed, but at the end of every episode, we zoom into Vision's eyes for the credits. Pay attention to the way we swim through these multicolored squares. That should look familiar to you. It's the same design as when Ultron first comes to life and speaks to Jarvis. At the end of that movie, Vision plugs into Ultron's head and kinda sinks in to burn him out of the internet. I'm wondering if between Ultron's birth in front of Jarvis and this moment where Vision plugs into his head, Ultron linked back into Vision, patiently laying dormant in his mind. Bruce describes Vision's mind as a combination of himself, Tony, and Ultron. Now, I'm not saying Ultron is the villain of WandaVision, but think about it, Ultron's original plan was to have Vision's body as his vessel. If he is now just an empty vessel, this would be the perfect time for a dormant Ultron to take over. We've all been pretty married to the idea of this show ending with Wanda as the villain. Plot twist, what if it turns out that Vision becomes the villain? And we see the return of the very short-lived Age of Ultron. Whether Wanda goes dark side or not, this would blow my mind. No pun intended. And that's the tea.
WandaVision Theory, The Twins, Part 1. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen episode 5. Scroll past if you haven't seen it yet. We need to touch basis on is when Wanda said that she has everything completely in control. That is a lie, because in episode 5, she just confessed she does not know how anything started. And not to mention, it seems that she is struggling herself with the television reality, even though she has some control. When Agnes said, "Can we take it from the top?" she missed it completely. When the twins acknowledged it was Saturday, she thought for sure it was Monday. But if Wanda didn't start it, who did and why? My guess is the twins. Look how fast Tommy and Billy grew up, but also it looks like somebody is pushing them to. Such as with Sparky dying. That was major incentive for the boys to almost grow up again. But why would they want Tommy and Billy to grow up so fast?
Okay, WandaVision Episode 5, spoilers. Spoilers for WandaVision Episode 5. So if you haven't seen it, scroll, go away, bye-bye. But I'm rewatching the episode. There's the doorbell. I'm rewatching the episode, and like, the last 2 minutes. I'm rewatching the last 2 minutes, not the whole episode, because I just don't have time. I do, but I don't want to. I have a theory. Look at that, I have a theory. Okay, so it has to do with what's going on in the sword base outside the Westview anomaly. Or outside the Hex. I'll pass it on, Darcy, don't worry. Look, just look. Ready? Look, watch. There's alarms and people are running. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. There's alarms, people are running around hectically, except for Darcy. I think Pietro is here on his own. Like, he wants to be here for her. He probably broke in to see her. That's why all the alarms are going off. Something is wrong. He broke in to go see her. I don't know how, but he...
WandaVision Theory, The Twins, Part 2. Again, spoiler alert if you have not seen episode 5, scroll past. So in the last part in Fury, we discussed somebody is making this reality for Wanda because they wanted her to have twins. And of course, Wanda's going to have blatant disregard for this. Why? Because she has a nice apple pie life with Vision and her 2 sons. But why would this mysterious person want Wanda to have twins? Because she's the strongest Avenger. Besides the fact that Feige confirmed that Wanda is the strongest, consider her powers of manipulating reality and the fact that she almost killed Thanos. Just one of her is dangerous, but what if there were more of her? My theory, whoever's using Wanda wanted her to have kids, that way they could have more just like her and exploit their abilities and powers. But the problem is, they're not worth anything right now because they're just kids. So with some incentive, they're forcing them to grow up.
All y'all WandaVision fans out there? I literally just jumped around my house screaming because no one else was here about, spoiler, I guess, about Pietro coming back. I felt like Wanda looked shocked at the door. I paused it, and I was like, no way, that's Pietro. It was him. And so Wanda doesn't, but it seems like Wanda didn't know that he was going to be there. So, like, how did he get there? Was it because, like, Wanda told her kids about her brother or something? Like, I want to know. Because, like, Wanda didn't know he was going to be there. So, like, how did he get there? How did he get there?
Okay, so I haven't seen anyone talk about this in WandaVision, so I wanted to talk about it real fast. Warning, this will have episode 4 spoilers. So now we know how Monica Rambeau made her way into this altered reality that Wanda made. Notice the pattern that this force field makes. It's kind of like a blue static. When Wanda uses her magic's red. As we can see here, the red magic is shooting her through the 4 walls and through the force field. Now we've all seen that blue static before in some sort of altered reality in Captain America Civil War, where Tony is displaying barf.
Hijacking the hippocampus to clear traumatic memories.
Notice that.
It doesn't change the fact that they never made it to the airport.
Look familiar?
Or all the things I did.
WandaVision episode 5 ending explained. Spoilers ahead. So the episode ends with Wanda and Vision having an argument on the couch and someone knocks on the door. Wanda opens the door and is in shock of who it is. Because it's Evan Peters as Quicksilver, but it's not the Fox Quicksilver. This is a completely new version of Quicksilver. But this is where things get really interesting. In this blink and you'll miss it shot, you can see the mirror, and in the mirror, Pietro's hand is red. I think this could be Mephisto disguising himself as Pietro in order to get closer to Wanda. Wanda didn't create this version of Quicksilver because she was just as shocked as we were when he showed up at her door. Now, judging off of that red hand, I think Quicksilver is actually Mephisto.
WandaVision, Quicksilver theory. Now, though WandaVision and Multiverse of Madness is diving into the multiverse a little bit, I'm pretty sure people are still wondering why specifically it's Evan Peters' Pietro and not Aaron Johnson. Let me explain. Because it's impossible to manifest him. Now, as we remember, Monica Rambeau's outfit was reality altered into a 70s outfit. The same thing with Vision. His dead body was manipulated to become alive. Wanda can manipulate reality, but she cannot manifest anything from nothing. Meaning, in order to make this Pietro alive again, she would actually need his corpse as well. But whoever was using Wanda didn't think that far through, especially when this argument started. So, they had to improvise and grab another Pietro from another reality. And as we discussed in previous parts, details are being missed from Wanda in this reality. So whoever's using her could slip another Pietro, she wouldn't notice.
Bro, I think I fucked up my soup.
I think I just figured out the main story of WandaVision. I remembered I had bought this book a long time ago, the Marvel Encyclopedia, full of all stuff about all the characters in the Marvel comics. And so I found Wanda Maximoff, Scarlet Witch. Wanda Maximoff and her twin brother Pietro believed Magneto was their father. Then it says here, the twins abandoned Magneto and later joined the Avengers. Wanda became attracted to the synthezoid called the Vision, and they were eventually married. And then I looked up Mephisto because I know there's a lot of theories linking him to WandaVision. And then I read this.
The Scarlet Witch once unwittingly used fragments of Mephisto's soul to give life to her twin sons, and Mephisto's reclamation of these fragments drove her mad, resulting in her altering all reality. When she finally brought the world back to normal, she did so by removing the mutant gene from most of the population of the planet, an event known as M-Day.
WandaVision Theory, The Twins, Part 3. Again, Episode 5 spoilers. Scroll past if you have not seen it yet. So in the last two parts we discussed, somebody wanted Wanda to have twins. And they wanted them for the sole purpose of exploiting their abilities. But now the big question. Why Quicksilver, and why this Quicksilver? In reality, what do you do to a television show if it seems like it's falling apart or losing ratings? You add a new character. Look how heated this argument got between Vision and Wanda. Vision was so upset, he knocked out the end credits. Whoever was using Wanda, they knew their plan was failing, and it was failing fast. And just like a television executive would bring a new character to bring the ratings up, they brought in a new character, aka Pietro, to save the series. And as we discussed in part 1, Wanda is not in complete control. Details are escaping her in this television reality. That's why they could pass off this Pietro for Wanda's MCU Pietro.